Right, hello everyone of Ero. Welcome to today's stream in F2. We've got Silverstone this week. My name's Josh, or ESW. I'm basically just covering for someone else today, so I'll be commentating for the qualifying race. We might have someone else join us midway through, but I'm not too sure if we will. We'll have to wait and see. It's just going to be quite a minute while I test all the audio and make sure everything's okay. Right, okay, everything looks to be alright, so let's get on with quali. We've got 16 drivers today of the 20 grid in F2. We've got Martino, the owner of the league. We've got a few other known names such as Cross Liam, who I've seen myself a lot driving with him in F1, and some other drivers as well. And we've got a few people already coming out. Looks to be pretty dry and nice out on quali at the moment. Hopefully we can have the same in race. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we could. Maybe a bit of rain wouldn't be too bad. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe some interchangeable weather would be quite cool. But I know Silverstone is quite a breeze, really, on the tyres. If it does stay dry, which is really interesting compared to real life. Obviously, we've seen in the past in the real F1 how detrimental this track can be to tyres. We've seen it with Lewis Hamilton winning a race, crossing the line with only 3 full-blown tyres. But for some reason on this game, you can just go through it with a breeze. You can get a bit of temperature in the tyres to cause concern throughout the race sometimes if you're really pushing it. But really, it is quite simple to get around on the standard soft-medium strategy. Two-stop is definitely out with a question around a track like Silverstone. The pit lane is just miles too long for you to get any advantage out of having softer tyres or a fresher compound compared to someone doing the simple one-stop. Now we've got our first 2 out on a lap, and the first of them will be Ferret de Souza, someone who was also raced in F1 alongside myself. And we've got Jericho just behind him on for Mercedes. Let me get all the settings up. I haven't commentated in a long while, so sorry if I'm a bit busy trying to sort everything out. 2 of them trying the mediums at the moment. We'll see how that goes. We'll just stay on track with Ferret to see what the maiden lap of the session will be. As he comes around Cops, the famous, and he takes it okay. He does not extend much at all, so he's going to be losing a bit of overall speed going into Maggots and Beckett's as he takes the apexes pretty nicely. A bit generous on his entry there into the last portion of the corner. Doesn't really take a lot of the apex as he could have done. Coming into the last sector, seems pretty clean so far. Locks up a little bit into the last few corners as he comes around the last of the few corners to hit a 126, which isn't actually a bad banker. That's pretty good, to be fair. And it was Jericho coming across the line now and just beats it by about a tenth for a 26.5. Now who's next to come across the line? It is the Aston Martin of Cross Liam. Set a 103.2 in the first 2 sectors. He's a bit risky there on his exit, and it doesn't really pay off for him there as he's slipping and sliding in the last sector. That's a William of, was it, who's just crossed the line there? A few people just starting their laps now, no one else setting another. Let's take a lap with Libanow now, the other Aston Martin driver for today. Like I said, 16 today, so there's a few missing. I'm not too sure what manufacturers it is that are missing, but it looks to be a Haas missing and a few others. I'm not going to go through them, it'll take me way too long. I'm a bit tired today, so don't want to run my mind on overdrive before the race has even started. as the Williams are letting each other two through just ahead. Igor sets a P5 with a 127.9, and Patuka jumps into the top three with a 126.7. So many people managing to break the 26s on a banker, which is good to see. Hopefully we can see a few more do it also. We got yellow flags there, just ahead of Libanau that we're taking a look at. Seems to be just traffic, people letting each other through to start their laps. Still a few people on out laps, so some people deciding to wait for a bit longer. There's someone there on the racing line with the Williams. It should really be moving over a bit earlier than that, but Libanau carries on the straight anyway. It looks like we're going to have traffic just ahead of Libanau with all the people trying to start the laps. Hopefully no one gets in the way, but I think everyone is shot off just before it can get turned into a problem. And Libanau comes across and sets a 127.7, which is not very good. He is running with COVID at the moment, so we'll cut him a bit of slack and wish him well. We see a few people jumping up now. Masiek P8 with a 127.9. Murphy jumping up. Murphy, a former F4 driver. Similar path to myself, jumping up from the lower divisions and going up, and he's done pretty well so far in F2 from what I have seen. He's in P7 with a 0.6. We've got Hassan jumping up to P5 with a 27.1, and still only 4 to break into the 26s at the moment. Hopefully we can see a few more. I do expect we will with the second and third runs, but we've got yellow flags for traffic again, so nothing too worried about. See how Aldrich takes Copse Corner, turns it in at the 50-metre point, and that is a very good exit there. That's what you really want to do in that corner. You want to turn in a bit earlier than expected. It's so fast of a corner. Oh, there's a tough corner though for him there. You really want to turn in a bit earlier and just try and keep on the power as much as you can while keeping that rear stable and extending onto that curve as much as you can without really invalidating or creeping over. You can sometimes get away with it around here with a bit of Codemaster's luck. Well, he didn't there, but like I said, it's all about luck because he gets out of the way respectfully there, which is good to see for Marburg and the other Aston Martin that was coming into the pits. F1 champ yet to set a lap. Commentated my first ever race, F1 champ in Monaco for Ero season 4, I believe it was. So he's been around for a long time then, absolute old head. Mick in P15 at the moment hasn't set a lap for the Red Bull as he's getting out ready to start it on the softs, it looks like. Let's see if anyone's set their times on the mediums actually. Give us a bit more context, and they have. So Masiek and Igor, who have set the 27.9s, very similar to each other, are the ones that have chose to go on the mediums, but everyone else staying on the softs at the moment. Hassan and Marburg doing 2 laps each on their softs at the moment, which isn't the worst of things. As I did say at the start of the session, the tyre wear is pretty fair around here and you can get away with it. So doing double runs for your first 2 sets of tyres is not a bad precedent. It gives you a chance to set a better lap time, better banker, but also it gives you a bit more warm up for your final run, which is really what's crucial in a session like this, especially the short 18-minute qualifying sessions. Getting those extra few laps in, even if it's just 1 or 2, can be the difference between you nailing your last lap and absolutely murdering it. So what a best of luck to them. We've only got a few people out on a lap at the moment, many on out laps as Aldrid comes into the pits. We've got Lacala on fresh softs as he comes around for a lap in the Williams. Takes a nice apex there, locking up a little bit, but it's not the worst of things to do in this corner. As long as you get the rotation, you get the power down and cut right over that apex as much as you can without invalidating, you'll be alright for the straight. Everyone starting to get out onto their hot laps now, so hopefully we don't see any traffic busting up people's laps. Doesn't extend too much there. Let's see how he takes the famous Copse Corner. Apex is it very nice. Doesn't extend as much as we have seen some do at the moment, but not bad either way. Takes a much better Max and Beckett's this time. Bit slow on the exit there from what I've seen in the past. We've got Haas there looking to get out of the way on the mini-map. Eat My Dust also joining the medium runners in a P12 though, unfortunately. So it's not going to matter what tyre he set it on. He's going to have to go out again, that's for sure. Right, we've got Champ now coming through Sector 2 into Cops with a bit of traffic ahead. Hopefully this Red Bull or Ferrari, whatever it is, does get out of the way in time for him to finish the lap. Good little exit there. And the Red Bull does get out of the way, thankfully. Not looking for revenge on a Mercedes at the moment. There's a Haas there off track of Marburg, I believe. It's a weird line out of Maggots and Beckett's that a lot of the times to be fast you can clip the grass with your left tyres, so it's not really a worry if you do. Here you wouldn't really want to be clipping any grass, but he extends very well there. So easy to invalidate just by putting the throttle down a little bit too quick, and he comes around, takes a nice apex there. Also takes a nice minimal line through the last corner and puts himself into a respectable P3 at the moment, which is not bad at all. Ferret Souza jumping up with a 26.6. No, I believe that was from the start of the session. Excuse me. Any other jumpers here? So you've got Routinho who's coming out, set his banker for P9, which was a 127.5. He'll definitely be low. He's crossed the white line there. Hopefully people will forget about that for his sake. But he's coming out now on another set of softs. Ferrari behind him on a lap, and that will be Patuca. Let's see how he does here in Sector 1. A few people getting out of the way there. Nice to see. Nice and wide track for people to get out of the way, so I don't expect we'll be seeing much qualifying antics from any drivers here. Well, not necessarily antics, but just mishaps when it comes to blocking, because I know how easy it can be at some tracks. But I think today we'll have a pretty clean getaway getting into the race session. Seems pretty calm with a lap for Patuca here coming around. It's got two Alfa Romeos of Routinho, and who is the other one? We've got Routinho and Masiek at the moment who are pretty close, and they're both on laps, it looks like. No, Routinho's on an out lap, sorry. Yellows for an AlphaTauri as it's letting through the McLaren of Murphy, I believe. Right, so let's keep on track with Routinho now. Is he going to be letting anyone through? No, he's got clear gaps ahead and behind. So let's sit on a hot lap with Routinho and see how he can do in a cinematic camera while I have a drink of my water. Ask of this, I really am not. Tough line through there, doesn't really clip the apex. You can still gain some speed by taking the wider line, but it's never going to be as good as you nailing double apex back to back. It's a little bit of a slipstream from his teammate there. I don't know how much to affect that will give, but he's got a Red Bull that really needs to get out of the way, man. What you doing, pal? Get out of the way. Get out. I can't say that, I forgot this is in the Ero stream. I'm gonna zip my mouth there, but yeah, he should be getting out of the way a lot easier there. Now that is the most I've seen someone extend their entry into Cops, which is good to see, but unfortunately it didn't pay off in the exit. Takes a very aggressive Maggots there. A decent exit of Beckett's, nothing to scream and shout about as he comes down the straight. Doesn't pull directly to the left straight away, but he comes around into the third last corner. Doesn't apex it, and it's going to cost him as he goes a bit, well, he doesn't go wide, but he takes a wide berth until he gets to the exit curb, and it's not going to gain him anything, but he gets a nice line into the last corner, nice and tight to cut down the micro seconds of his lap. And what did it set him? It set him a P10 with a 27.1. Not very good by the standards of Routinho. Hopefully we can see him do better on his last chance. Well, if he's going to get a chance to do another one, which I don't think he will. So that'll be hopefully for him to get dropped down into the bottom bottom 5 to get on them fresh mediums. Who else have we got out on a lap at the moment? Mick, who hasn't set a lap yet, is out on his now, as he's coming through the second sector. Oh, that is a really poor exit from him, so that could be his qualifying done there, unless he has enough fuel, which I expect he does by the looks of it, 'cause he's got full ERS, so I don't even know if he's trying to push this lap or not. He's definitely not trying to set a respectable time in the lines he's taking, but hopefully he's got another chance to go out and set a valid lap this session and put himself somewhere respectable rather than being last. We've got a few people now out on their last laps. Ferret D'Souza starting his, so we'll give him a run on board as he is already in the 26s. Let's see if he can improve from there. I've just got a new wheel today, so I've been doing a bit of Silverstone, because obviously I've got my race tomorrow, trying to calibrate my wheel, and the best I can do currently is about a 26.2, so let's see how he can do. He's just over half a tenth up going into the third sector. He's taking a pretty nice line there, he's got good traction. You can see him really spinning the car out of the corner with a bit of wheel spin, getting a nice straight line into Copse corner. Very nice apex. Doesn't take a lot of the curb, but it does look fast. He took it in a lower gear than some usually would. Takes a nice apex there. And I was going to say a nice apex, but he's just gone over the limit there and he's invalidated his final. I wonder if he's got enough fuel. He doesn't by the looks of it. He is flashing up red. We've got Liam on another lap and he's 2 tenths up so far. And no, I think that's the lap he's just set by the looks of it, because he's halfway. So his final lap of the session is going to be P4 provisionally with a 26.6. Jericho is just up on his time as Ferret has retired in the pits. Okay, I thought he retired on track for a second there. Or two people getting caught out. The two top drivers of today's session so far have both been caught out by the exit of the same corner. Very tricky there. We got Champ on an outlap with Mileberg sitting right ahead of him, so I don't know. I'm guessing Mileberg's going to be pitting here as Champ goes for his final lap. He's not. Okay, well I hope Champ doesn't get drowned with traffic, as he's got someone there behind him, but I think he can get away with enough space ahead of Mileberg and a chance to not block anyone behind him, so I think he's okay. So we'll run on board with him at the moment. Our top 5 as it stands: Jericho, Ferret at the moment, who can't improve on his last lap, Champ in P3, who is currently on his final lap of the session now. Liam also finished up with his laps in P4, rounding out with a 26.6. And then we've got Patuka, Murphy, Igor, Masiek, all rounding out the 26s, where we go into the 27s for P9 for Mileberg, Mick and Hassan to round up the 3 of the ultimate strategy at the top. Some say that beating the top of the alternates isn't actually such a bad thing. You can do a lot being in P11, so I wouldn't be too worried if qualifying goes a bit poor for you and you've just got into the bottom 10. You can still salvage a pretty good race from wherever, to be honest, in sim racing. Safety car galore, anything, even just alternate strategy can really pull you back, as Champ doesn't get a very good Magnussen Beckett's there. Yeah, he is up. He's down on his time at the moment, so he's not going to be setting anything spectacular. But as we do switch to Patuka, a 26.4. Look how close that is to Jericho Bargos' pole lap at the moment. Very, very close. Both of them not to set another lap now, and it looks like F1 Champ isn't going to be improving much here at all, and he doesn't set anything new at all. Masiek, who is a 10.5 up on his time. Let's see where that places in P9 to P9. Okay, so not too much difference. I believe that's everyone done now apart from Lakala, who isn't setting anything new, so hopefully he can get in the pits now before people start to complain that he's wearing their tyres by staying out. And he does get in the pits. Is he going to retire now? Right, let me get on to the stream just to see if you've got any comments. Hello, Watunio. Any prediction? If you've got any predictions of today's race, just drop them in the comments to see what's going on. Jericho. Oh, and we have got a new poll. I apologise, I've missed that somehow. But Aldrig has set P1, and he's just edged Jericho Balgos for a 0.4. 126.4. That is not bad at all. He's got red fuel there, so he definitely put the car down to the limits of the lows to see how fast he could go. Didn't mean to run, but it did, and I'm not too mad about it. Right, Lacala is not retiring, and he is retiring now. Okay, not a bad session. A few good laps, a few disappointing ones, but highs and lows, you got to take them as they come. I'm knackered, you know. I am knackered. Hopefully we can either get Micheletti or Loki joining us throughout the race. We'll see what happens. But for now, you're just stuck with me. Just stuck with me and my half-gone voice. So, I'll see if anything interesting happened. There was no interesting validations, no grid penalties. This and next lap invalidated. That is tough. That is why Mick invalidated there in this first go, by the looks of it. The is that the first? I think it's, yeah. I think that's the first incident of the session. So yeah, that's probably why he didn't set a time for so long. It's so annoying when you just breathe wide by an inch on the last corner whilst going to start your lap, and they think, oh well, you've gained like a second. So yeah, that's not happening. They just ban you for the next 2 laps. Very irritating. Right. Fun fact, that bridge there you see on Silverstone paddock, it's not actually there in real life. And I've seen people complain about Codemasters being inaccurate with their tracks, which to be fair they are with some tracks such as like Belgium and that. But actually that bridge was supposed to be built, I believe, just before when COVID got hit, when we got hit with COVID, and then it never came along. Well, I don't know, maybe they've done something about it now, but yeah, so we've got something before real life for the first time ever, and it's a bridge in Silverstone. I know, exciting. Right, everyone getting off for the formation lap now, and as they do, I'm going to take a sip of water. Right, I don't know what's going to happen in this race. Let's have a look at the tyres, first of all. So, everyone pretty much out of the top 10 going mediums. Libanow getting alternate pole there with his COVID, so we'll see how well he can do. He's not very well, so best of wishes to him in getting better, and anyone else who is struggling with COVID at the moment. My family have gone through a bit of a burst of it the last few days, and it's a bit sketchy, but we should be alright. Hopefully everyone else in Ero is alright too. As we just come around Copse Corner now, everyone on the top 10 obviously mediums as we saw in quali. My predictions for the start, I reckon we're going to have someone getting their nose clipped into turn 1. Someone on the inside's going to, you know, try and be a bit advantageous. Someone on the outside's going to hold their line and clip someone's nose, and you know, there's going to be absolute anarchy in the F2 chat about you didn't leave me no room, but I reckon that's what's going to happen. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. As we see there with this predicted strategy, soft, medium, soft, hard predicted strategies. Definitely not soft, hard. There's no need for it at all. Soft, medium will work just fine. Medium, soft will work even better. As we come around the last corner now, as we're looking at the nice dark racing green of the Aston Martin with Crossliam sat in the cockpit. Right. Aldrig, I remember commentating on when he raced in Austria this season. I think he did pretty well. on the alternate strategy. He's not on that strategy today. He's starting on pole with the used softs, and I'm going to stop with that malarkey because I think we're going now. Are we going to get... what the... right, okay, we're good now. Right, all the lights are red, and now they're not as the race gets ahead. That rhymed as well. I'm just good. Right. Everyone, I told you someone's gone round, and it is Mick Venus and Marlberg with Tino at the back there. Let's get position changes on. Aldrich staying ahead at the moment with Jericho just behind, about 3/10 gap down to P6 at the moment. Got an Alfa Romeo going wide there. I believe that is Moutinho. It is. Unfortunate for the people who have lost positions. Marlberg losing the most. He looks to be the one who got his nose clipped into turn 1. I predicted it. We got Mick Venus dropping 3 as well. Everyone else seems to be doing alright though. Murphy losing 1 position, but that means nothing on lap 1. It's a 26 lap race for a reason. Now we've just got to see what happens now. People are just going to be pushing, trying to get as many positions as possible while they can before the DRS comes out and forms too many trains. So irritating being a 3rd man in a train. So hopefully people are going to be looking to push up as much as they can to make sure they can stay in the chain of the front runners. What's gone on there? So I think maybe some team orders from Ferret and Patuka there, or just an issue. Oh, it looks just like an issue from Patuka, losing the car massively as he comes on track pretty plainly, to be fair to him, but he's really struggling with them tyres at the moment. Give me 2 seconds, I'm going to sneeze. Looks to be struggling with them. He's dropped down to P9, becoming the joint biggest loser of the first 3 laps. Masick just gaining 1. A few people gaining 2 laps, 2 positions on this lap, but no major changes in the grid when it comes to the positives. The only positive we've got on the track at the moment is Livena with his COVID. Poor little sod. He's doing alright though. He's gained a position off the start on their alternate strategy. So I believe he is the highest running medium runner. He is into P10. He seems to be sticking with Patuka, but he does look to be a bit further out than everyone else ahead of him. So hopefully he can stay within this train and just feed off of the DRS up until everyone pits, and he should be okay. Alternate strategy is very good round here, I believe, from what I know. So interesting to see where he's going to be in about 16-15 laps times. Could be a warning there for Patuka. Doesn't look to be enjoying them softs from the first lap that we saw of him. Seems to be locking up there in that corner, which isn't the hardest thing to do in all respects. Ferret setting the fastest lap there in P3. The deltas are looking pretty calm at the moment as the racing's getting on. We've got the top 3 very close bunched up. That's definitely going to get a bit spicy now with DRS being enabled. Does Jericho have his open? He does, and he just can't get to Aldrich on the first lap. So let's take a look at ERS while we're here, because it's definitely going to be a massive factor in this race. Silverstone's one of those tracks where you really don't mind being behind all the way through the race up until the last 2 laps. It's a tricky one because there's many chances to overtake. So if you can just stick with someone, make them burn their ERS, and then just take the opportunity in when you can on the last lap or 2, you can just win it on the last lap. But that's not what Jericho's going to be doing at the moment. He's going to have Ferret breathing down his neck, so he's made the choice to take the move early and go into P1. He's on 46% compared to the 80 and 60 of his competitors behind. F1 champ jumping into 4th place with Patuka dropping from there and getting the first 3 seconds of the session very early, so he doesn't seem to be enjoying the first choice of compound too much at all. Not much else going on at the moment. We've got the front three bunched up. Champ just outside the DRS detection, but he's just creeped in. I wonder if that's going to give him a chance to get it on for this straight, and it doesn't, so he's probably going to get dropped out again, unfortunately. So irritating to be in that position, especially when you've got the likes of soft runners behind you also, who are going to be looking to take your position, take advantage of your lack of DRS while they're sitting sweet behind you. Not too much going on elsewhere. Patuka on the back of Masiek. He's really low on ERS as well, so he's got a 3-second penalty, and he's used a lot of his tank and not enjoying the tyres, so not looking too gravy for him at the moment. We've got Jericho in front, but Aldrig is slowly creeping up on him, and he's not going to go for the move there, which I think was wisest. Ferret could get a run here. Let's see what happens. High fuel at the moment, so people just being a bit more patient, getting very close with his front wing to the rear diffuser of the Williams. That is Aldrig, who is sitting sweet with 95% ERS. Liam's sitting on about 50, hovering at like 55, 60 at the moment. Obviously he is out of the DRS. Oh, he's overtaken Champ there on the last straight, which we unfortunately missed, and that's an off track there from Lacala. He's into the gravel. We saw it on the mini-map just before we got to switch to it on the cameras, and he spun it again, just not patient enough coming back onto the track. That is very unfortunate for him. We've got F1 Champ taking Liam back, coming off of the DRS straight, but like I said, they're just too far away to be benefiting from the DRS of the top three, so it's not looking too good for Champ at the moment. Hopefully they just plan to push each other all the way up as much as they can and not lose any time, because that is what's going to be crucial. We're all on the same strategy here, so let's work together, which is what I hope they'd be thinking. It's always irritating to have someone wanting to battle for position when at the time it's not that necessary. Look how close they are to Jericho now going to this corner. Aldrig is forced to make the move, with Ferret de Souza being so close to the rear of both of them. And look at the run Ferret has got it. Oh my god. Ferret has committed murder. What are you doing there, pal? He's just hit the back of Jericho Balgos, and he's taken a skid across the grass, and he's lost everything he's worked for. Aldrig, pal, don't worry about it. I think you'll be alright after penalties if he can just stay within Ferret's rear. Let me watch that back actually before I become more judgmental and blame someone. Let me have a look back at that quickly and decide what I think. Oh yeah, he just drives into the back of him. That's Ferret has just not anticipated his exit there, and he's just drove into the back of Jericho, unfortunately. So I wonder if there's any damage there. I doubt it. It didn't look like a type of incident you get damage. Both drivers were moving at a similar pace, so although the contact was large, the damage was probably minimalised. Runs wide there. Wouldn't be surprised if he picked... What the fuck? What's going on there? What's going on here? Hey? I'm confused. I'm very confused. Anyway, Aldrich is now 2 seconds. What is going on? What's he doing? What's he doing? I'm sorry guys, I'm so baffled. Looks like a few people are pitting now. Patuka and Champ are pitting from the softs. 7 laps, which isn't a bad time to get onto the mediums. I'm sorry, I'm so confused about... Ferret's just retired on track now. Anyone in comments, if you've got an idea of what on earth just happened, let me know. What the f*** was that? Right, okay. Whatever. Right, let's get on with it and let's not worry about that. So we've got a lot of gaps forming now in the mini-map. If you look in the bottom right, there's a few groups. Similar teams in each group, by the way, which is interesting. We got Libanow just on the back of Jericho. Obviously Jericho was spun, so it's really unfortunate. He's it looks like he is he pitted to the mediums now? He has not, so he's still on the softs at the moment. So he's really lost a lot of time, yeah. Because with the way that's happened, it's just really taken any advantage of starting in the top 10. So I hope there's a chance for him to come back into this race for a win. Liam and Masiek coming into the pits. Aldrig and Igor staying out for a bit longer on the softs. Got all the medium runners coming through now as the majority of the soft runners are coming in to get onto the same compound. Ooh, wow, look at this. Both of the McLarens going side by side in that corner there. Is Murphy going to try and send it up the outside? He doesn't. He's respectful to his teammate. Defends the Patuka from getting an alternative line on his teammate and himself. And both come through it with no damage, which is good to see. Marburg there getting the mediums fitted on the Haas. Repping the number 27. Thought it was 21 for a second, which is my race number. So I'm going to give him props for that. But it's not, so I'm not going to give him props for that. Aldrig and Igor staying out for a bit longer now, as we see on the softs. I really do wonder what difference that is going to make to this strategy compared to the people who have pitted a little bit earlier. I wonder if Champ is going to be able to get a bit more, a bit closer to the DRS range of the front runners now, and get him and Liam up into a race winning opportunity. Looks like these two have been tussling away throughout the race for quite a while now. Oh, it's a very wide exit there from F1 Champ. I think he might have got away with it there without warning, by the looks of it. Because I think he's done that once or twice now. We've got yellows now. Is that for a McLaren of... Oh, Murphy is a... What's happened to Murphy? Oh no, Murphy's just pitted, sorry. My bad. Aldrig and Igor staying out again on the softs. 7 is probably quite early, but I think any time around about now you'd be sound to get into the pits. But I wonder how much this is going to impact their race now, because they're going to give the runners behind them an opportunity to. Oh, Murphy span, is he? Apologies for missing that. I'm so tired today. I'm just trying to get through this. But Murphy has had a spin. I wonder if this is going to allow F1 Champ and Liam back into the race with these guys going out for so long on the softs. At the end of the race, they're probably going to be able to get away from them because of the tyre advantage. But the time they can lose by just battling can be very crucial. Got Murphy in the pits to retire. I don't know if he's spun on his own or if he's been involved in contact, but unfortunately for him, his race is now over. And Aldrich stays out again, and so does Igor. They are separate teams. I almost thought they were both Alpines for a second, and that one of them was going to end up having the double stack, but they're all pretty good. Everyone else now has pitted apart from the medium stars. Libanow really struggling for ERS, but you can see why. He's got Vitinho and Hassan right behind him, breathing down his neck, which is probably not what he wants when he's already got COVID. But sorry for that one, that was crap. But he's coming onto the DRS straight now with minimal ERS compared to Vitinho and Hassan. Hassan's dropped a lot of time there, but Vitinho just gets past into the braking zone nice and cleanly. Sorry, that was such a crap joke. And Libanow taking a nice little exit there. Vitinho's going to have the extra power to plummet in the tank and stay ahead here into Maggots and Beckett's. The tyres are going to be probably in their prime at the moment. I wouldn't say prime. Tyres are never in their prime 9 laps in. but they're not going to be at any issue at the moment. About halfway through this stint, probably a little bit over, but yeah, mediums are very consistent around here. To be fair, softs are consistent around here as well. Surely we get a pit now from Aldrig, and we don't. He stayed out again. Big gap to Igor now with a 3.7 second lead for Aldrig, and they both stayed out again. And Coutinho is really not that far away from them on the mediums, with Libano and Hassan carrying behind. This really makes me wonder of how this last portion of the race is going to end. We've got Masiek and Patuka making a switch there, and wow, Patuka and Masiek making contact, wheel brushing, not quite banging. Patuka gets ahead, but Masiek gives Patuka a bit of a nudge, and it's a safety car. We've got Lecala spinning off at the back and crashing out. He did have a spin earlier, so he wasn't looking too confident on the track today. But it looks like Marburg's really trying to not get a drive through there with the Curious Delta trying to claim a victim, but he manages to stay away from the pit lane. Now, Aldrig and Igor, they've got a chance to pit now, to not lose as much as they would. But they might have lost a lot already with how long the pit lane is. They could really be worrisome there with some of the medium runners getting to jump them, but we'll have to wait and see. Medium runners in a bit of a sticky situation now, because I think it's a bit too early. I don't know. I think you could do soft, but they're going to be pretty strugglesome at the end of the race. Let's see. Well, let's see ourselves. Aldrig pits, so does Igor. Coutinho does come in. What's he going to do? Hopefully for the softs. Hards is out of the question, really. Getting really close to the limit now. So is Hassan getting close to the limit now. Eat My Dust staying out. Okay, so is he going to take the provisional lead of this race and start the race back up after the safety car does come in? It looks like he is. Here he is. Eat My Dust to take the lead on the older mediums, which I don't think is going to pan out too well for him. I think he'll be expecting another safety car. I think that's why he stayed out. But to be honest, with 13 runners, chance for a safety car is a bit limited. But with it being a safety car restart, people are going to be bunched back up. There's going to be a chance for contact and not just human error. So we will see. We'll see what happens. Everyone else pitting. Coutinho goes for the softs, living out, and Hassan for the softs. Masiek is staying out on his lap 3-year-old mediums, as is everyone else who started on softs pretty much. Champ has pitted for a fresh set of mediums, so he's hoping for a safety car not to come out again after this one. I think he's going to go on the end on the mediums. Obviously he did start on softs, he pitted for mediums, and then he's pitted again now for the fresher set, which he can guarantee can be good all the way to the end, because they will definitely be good all the way to the end with the lack of tyre degradation on this track. Patuka going onto the softs, which he did not like in the first portion of his stint, so hopefully he can do better this time around, with Marburg also doing the soft. He's a bit far behind, he's going to have to catch the safety car, but I think he'll just about manage to do it. Jericho gets another chance in this race. He's not going to jump many positions. He was on the strategy that wasn't benefited too much by the safety car, but we have Michalizzi joining us. You good?
Yes.
How's your sauna? Lucky bugger, man. I'd love to sit in a sauna right now and just fall asleep. I'm knackered, mate. Been a bit eventful. We've had a big collision between Jericho and Ferret de Souza, who then decided to wander off onto the grass like an old man with dementia. I have no clue why he did it, but he did. But interesting to see why. Just waiting under the safety car now. Everyone else catching up. Last one to join us will be Marburg in the Haas. But yeah.
Said that his TV has suddenly turned on.
Say again?
Fervit said that his TV turned off suddenly, and that caused the collision. So he never even really saw the collision himself.
I've never heard of a TV that turns off instantly without warning, but you know, I understand that TVs get like a 10-second warning, like click a button before it turns off, but interesting one. I don't know how he's going to prove that to the stewards, but it's really cost Jericho quite the portion of his race. So we'll see how that pans out in stewards throughout the week. Well,
Luckily,
I see.
there was that safety car.
Yeah, luckily he's got another chance. He's going to be on the old mediums against some fresh mediums. Aldrig
no,
and...
I meant that luckily there is a safety car, so I can join with that missing.
Oh, right, yeah, you haven't really missed too much. Good few overtakes. Lovely little battle from Champ and Liam. Liam and Champ were on the same strategy, but Champ has decided to take the fresh set of mediums and go in again. He's lost a lot of positions for it, but if there's not another safety car, he's gonna have a good chance at gaining some positions, having the consistent mediums all the way through to the end. Liam just racing last week in Ero F1 alongside myself. Did you race in Japan last week?
I haven't signed up still.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm mixing you up with another league that I'm racing with you. But yeah, he raced with me in Japan. He got a very respectable P4, just behind myself. He was right on my tail the whole race, and he's a very respectful driver, and he's tough to have in your win race because he doesn't really move. He just stays there, and he doesn't really go for the aggressive dives like some, but you can just see that he's there ready to pounce when you make a mistake, so it puts the pressure on, which I think Watinho might be feeling. But Watinho's on the fresher tyres there.
It's time for the restart.
It is, yeah.
They've got to receive the pit, so it's any moment now the restart could happen.
Yeah, Eat My Dust, old tyres, being the one to start it. He's nearly spun out there, but he's gone now, pretty early.
Avoiding your left.
Yeah, Watinho has been a bit late, but luckily he's got the fresher tyres to bounce back with.
Oh, he's at the best position to win this race.
At the moment, yeah, depending on how he can manage his tyres.
Wait,
but
so Eat My Dust hasn't fitted?
Eat My Dust hasn't, no, he's decided to stay out. I don't know if he's...
Hey, that is a risk. He could have gone for softs already, to be honest. I'm wondering
He could
why
have, yeah. As he gets overtaken already by Aldrig on the straight before DRS is even allowed. He's going to fight back on the old mediums. He's not going to have to turn in as much as Aldrig will. And he hasn't got the tyre strength to duel with someone fresher than him. Igor creeping up on him now in the lovely sounding Alpine. Watinho not gaining that much for how fresh his tyres are, especially being on the softer compound. But he does gain a bit there in Copse Corner, as you'd expect, with the extra lateral grip that those tyres are going to provide them. Living out 3 seconds.
And Mick as well. 3 guys getting 3-second time penalties at the exact same corner.
Yeah. Very on the limit throughout that sector. You can really push it and try and get lucky, or just try and be consistently on the limit, but it is tough, as we see. Livina hasn't been doing too bad. He's down bad with COVID at the moment, so I know how that feels, and racing with it, respects I could not have.
Igor has to get past.
Yeah, he
and when I say that, he gets a penalty, so
he's really pushed it there. His apex nice.
Gone. Oh, that was huge for Lardry.
Watinho getting a nice little underline there. Watinho going to be in a Watinho hasn't got. He's close enough into the DRS now for the next lap when it gets enabled. But Igor is just outside. Al just made a mistake though. He's gone a bit wide, but he's still got the run out on Igor. We've got Mick Thenis pretty close there, but he just dropped back from Jericho going into the Copse. With Patuka not really doing... Oh, that's a very wide line from Mick Thenis there. Patuka not been doing very good there on his soft tyres like he wasn't in the first. Eat My Dust is spun.
That's another safety car chance. Yes,
It is a safety car. And the one person who was banking on one was Mick Thiener. Sorry, Eat My Dust. And he's got his wish, but what's a wish when you're dead?
He's caused it.
Yeah.
Aldrich doesn't fit. Yeah, nobody should fit.
No.
Oh, Hassan fits. Nasir fits.
Why is Hassan pitting?
And Champ fits. Probably to go for softs.
Yeah, Champ has definitely gone for the right choice there to come back in for softs.
I wonder if Hassan has damage. I really wonder.
Well, we will see now. Like you said, there was a bit of rustling, but no contact.
No, he doesn't. Why does he pit again?
So he's obviously gone for the thought that an extra, less laps on your tyre equals more pace at the end of the race, which is true, but yeah.
But the problem is traffic. You need track
exactly.
position.
There's going to be...
He lost some track position, so I don't think this game's really him anything.
There's going to be at least 2 laps now where they're going to be in the safety car. 3 where they're not going to have DRS. And then when they do, there's just going to be probably a bit of queues now. Everyone's on similar tyres. Honestly, for the people who were on 2-lap-old softs, staying out would be brilliant because they've got another 2-3 laps to just not get much wear on them softs at all, and hopefully pull them to the end. I really think Hassan's made a mistake there. Aldrich and Igor not pitting. 3-lap-old mediums, I can see why not. But to be fair, Liam, worried for Liam now. 7-lap-old mediums. Their prime are definitely going to be going past pretty soon after the safety car restart. So some soft runners looking to pounce on that. Same with Jericho. I don't think Jericho would be too happy pitting for softs and getting into more traffic, considering what happened to him in the first stint. So he's probably happy to just stay where he is and get on with his race.
Wow. What's this league with reduced safety car? That's actually surprising that there has been 2 safety cars in a quick succession.
Yeah, I'm glad there's no VSCs. VSCs are really irritating to me. I hate to see them in the actual race because they're not really necessary. Virtual safety cars are there to, you know, get rid of debris or whatever that can affect drivers physically in real life, but we don't really have that issue. Oh! Liam nearly makes contact with Tino there, locking the brakes.
Does every gear have reduced, if you know?
Yeah, I believe so. We do an F1, which some people were not happy about, some people were, but I think it's panning out alright at the moment.
I think I was one of the criticizers personally.
I think I did criticise it, I'm pretty sure, because when it was chosen to replace the standard, I wasn't really racing at a good standard. I was really demotivated with the game in the first season of this year's game, and I liked the opportunity of getting another chance with more safety cars coming out. But to be fair, now that I'm doing a bit better, it's nice to just get on with your race and not have to worry about momentum being stopped. But it's always nice to have a second chance, especially if you get spun out by someone and it's not your fault and your race is pretty much out of the books, and then a safety car comes out and you get a chance to redeem yourself.
Well, this has been fun because the safety car has deployed actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's going to be an interesting run to the line now.
Usually reduced safety car setting doesn't want to deploy the safety car.
Yeah.
Even if there is a crash in the middle. It really depends on the track.
Yeah. I think the safety car will be in this lap.
Oh yeah, everybody is in the train, so definitely.
So we'll be going through now to the last few corners. Aldrich leading it as he has done in the start of the race, starting on pole of course with a good lap, 1:26.4. I'll have to keep that in my mind now because I'm not going to be doing that tomorrow, which I probably should be. Igor in P2. Let's have a look at the most jumped positions. Wait, can I look at this? Watino is up 11 positions at the moment, the biggest winner of today.
It's the restart time.
Yeah. 6 positions for Igor also. There's more green than reds, which is nice to see. F1 champ obviously dropping the most positions because of his decisions to pit. But let's go back to the front now as we get ready to get going. And he's gone. Very good restart from him. He's got a good gap. It's not a portion of the track you'd ideally want to go on. It's a...
Oh, Jericho makes a big mistake, and now the Red Bull shouldn't overtake, and that's an illegal overtake.
Yep, and he looks like he's giving the position back. He's losing too because of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for him.
Big mistake from him. I mean, Jericho made a big mistake, but... Oh, and Petrucco... I don't know if he hit Jericho or...
There's contact on the exit of the apex. Is there going to be any more contact?
Yes, but it's a relatively clean move.
Look at that, Aldrich. What a start from him. He's already on the edge.
For it again.
He has an all.
Oh,
looks to be wheel brushing and...
Close.
Yeah, very, very close. Petrucco looks to be sliding a little bit then. He's trying to stick his nose up there. Really risky. Stays behind. Yeah, you can't be sticking a nose up into a corner like that.
He's gonna send it. He's gonna send it now.
It's...
Oh, they do very well. Also, Mick absolutely just leave.
Yeah, that was very reminiscent of when Hamilton and Leclerc went side by side after the incident with Max Verstappen. So, being very cautious there. Igor breaking back into the DRS now of Aldrich.
I don't think Mick... Oh no, Mick did get a warning for that, it seems.
Oh, okay.
He definitely deserved.
Aldrich out of the penalties at the moment, so technically he's quite clear. Igor using quite a lot of his ERS at the moment. He's on 50% compared to Aldrich's 75. Yep. Coutinho is not doing them soft justice at the moment.
Coutinho should be fighting for the win with those tires.
Yeah, we did see a lot of people pitting on lap 7 for the softs. That was on higher fuel, but you should expect him to be being a bit faster than this. He's really dropping time to the medium runners, but the medium tyres are in their prime at the moment, being 6 laps in. They don't really have too much to worry about with the tyre wear till the end of the race. No, he's got a lot of overspeed on him at the moment.
But this is the problem of this track. It's so hard to overtake that you just need to go for it once you get a good
an error I think he's making in that Copse corner is a lot of people try to take it while they're behind someone, and they make the corner, but they lift off, but they keep it in 8th, and I think it loses them time on the exit. I think if you drop it into 7th, you can get a bit more rotation quicker and just get the throttle planted down.
Oh,
he's gone wide again, and it's another penalty. Yeah.
Yeah, dirty Aaron.
The first doubler of today.
Now it's the arrest time, and Coutinho doesn't have it with this disaster.
No. Cross Liam's going to be all over him now against the old softs.
This is Aldrich to lose this race.
Liam just trying to find the alternate lines on Coutinho. Can't make it happen up until before the DRS sector. But is he going to get him on this straight now? Coutinho trying to break the slipstream. He weaves once, weaves twice. And he takes the corner and stays ahead. Fair play to him. Aldrich's taking the line very wide there. In the pretty much U-turn before Copse.
Let's see how much warnings Igor has.
I'll watch.
He has 3 warnings, so if he gets of course removed, he's fighting for the win.
Probably the best line I've seen taken through Copse today from Eagle. They're very, very limited on the
Liam
exit.
is super close. Coutinho is really struggling with the softs because Liam is way quicker.
The Aston Martins might get a double. 2 positions gained by both of them, and as Livenau goes up on the outside.
No, that wasn't the greatest.
And Coutinho is... I don't think that's fair from Coutinho. He's dived it too much there. And he's given contact.
Livenau, there wasn't any collision though.
Oh, was there not? It looked like Coutinho hit him, but...
Livenau avoided it, like Lewis Hamilton.
Alright, okay. Okay, well he's going to get another chance as those tyres degrade. Actually, no, they're both on the same strategy, so being ahead there would have been ideal to have his teammate chug him along, but instead he's going to be chugging along his rival instead. Jericho right on the back.
Wojtinho is desperate for that podium because he knows, first of all, he cannot let Igor to go too far ahead, and still he's fighting against Liam. He knows if he's turned into train, it's almost game over for him.
Aldrich sitting pretty at the front with pretty much a full tank of gas.
Only a miracle will deny Aldrich from winning this race.
Yeah.
Oh, but
look at this queue. Look at this queue all the way down from Cross Liam.
He did. That was Aldrich's first warning.
Miku, take a look at Jericho. Go into the cinematic cam and just look at how long this queue is for DRS. Absolutely massive.
It's from P3 to P12.
Means everyone who hasn't got penalties is in it. So did Jericho. Jericho stuck his nose up there on Liver now, but couldn't quite get it. Give it a lap or two, and I think the medium runners are going to be trying to walk all over these soft runners.
Igor is going to get second place in this race.
Yeah, it does look like it, yeah.
The other guy for fighting. And Aldrich, of course, has supreme pace, so he's just pulling him away as well.
Yeah. If Igor can stay with Aldrich, I think he can get away, because obviously Liam's tyres are going to fall off before theirs, being 4 laps older. They're now derating now. Not very good for the Aston Martin driver. Woutinho just sat in between the team there as he takes a wider line, which has been paying off for Aldrich, so who's to say he's doing it wrong?
And this is how much track position matters. Hassan, Mattia can
yeah, they've had nothing to gain. They are still in that queue though, so no penalties for Masiek and Champ could be massive. I mean, we could even get another safety car, depending on how quick we can get it. But
it literally would need to be a crash now, and hope for.
Well, there's a Mercedes gun on the inside of an Aston Martin, and he takes it with ease. Living out, giving him a bit of a kiss on the rear.
I was wondering why you were talking about a Mercedes, because Wojtinho just went into third place. You missed that move.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, 2 moves in the same stretch of time there, and the same corner.
A crash! There's just been Petruka and Mick, I think, had contact. And Mick is now losing position. There is, yeah.
Suka's moving, so I think we're going to be okay and not pull out another car.
Petruka outside of points. There's big fighting now going.
Mick, Hassan. Oh, Masiek's gone on the inside of Hassan as Hassan was trying. Oh, his contact!
What? Hassan turned straight into Masiek.
Oh, and Champ is off the track as Hassan pushes him wide. Not going to be happy there from Champ, I can tell you that.
I know there's going to be a report from Champ.
Yeah, I don't understand what was going on there. To be fair, Hassan got unlucky. He was aiming for a switchback on Meilberg, and then Masiek just got a switchback on him. So it was a game of chicken, really. Very interesting to see. Igor is getting absolutely pulled by Aldrich out of the penalty range.
Wojtinho is...
Oh, and Jericho has the balls to do it, and he sends it. Cross Liam did not have the balls to do it, but he's going to wait. Oh, I thought he was going to send it on the inside then, but he decides not to.
Still there, but no.
Woutinho is doing extremely well on these old softs. He hasn't been able to pull the pace on them when they were new, but he's managing to do the defending while they're old. Reminds me of a certain Alpine driver on the grid we have these days. And we've got Liam going on the inside of Jericho, takes the red curb, which really trumps his momentum. And I think it's cost Jericho a bit of time to Woutinho, and it's given Woutinho breathing space going down into the left-hander. This is very interesting from the back of the car of Woutinho.
Oh, makes sense it. Against Liver now, there's contact.
He does, yeah.
Exits.
Oh, it's contact!
I think Libeno almost lost it and went...
Yeah, very lucky. Very lucky for no one to be off track there. Well, Mick has gone off track there, but not for the reasons that we just saw. If we go back to Watinho, now he's derating. Jericho has got a little bit more in the tank against him. Takes a bit of the grass on the exit, and he's definitely got him here, surely. Going into the last 2 laps of the race. Absolutely breezes past him. He's not derating, unlike his competitor. And Liam is right on the tail, not derating also. But he's not far from it. Liam's going for it, yeah. He's committed to it. He in the first stage of braking, he doesn't really.
Yeah.
Squeezes Watinho, but manages to stay out of the contact zone. And it looks like McThenas right on the back of Watinho. Equal machinery, equal grip, but a bit more in the tank. Yeah.
He has 40% of PRs. That's huge.
But I think Watinho is going to get blessed by the gods of DRS.
Something has happened. Yeah, Maciek has damaged. There must have been some big collision. Maciek doesn't have left end and
interesting.
5 seconds of the DRS, right?
Interesting to see what happened there. And if you look at the deltas, Igor is out of the penalty range. So he owes all his points pretty much today. Well, the extra ones he gets for P2 all the way to Aldrig, because he's absolutely carried him out of the issued areas of Jericho, Liam and Watinho. Not too much going on at the moment. We've got Hassan right on the back of Marlberg, but they're both in DRS, so it's not looking like it's going to be too interesting. Actually, Hassan has got a bit of a run.
No.
He sends it. He sends it.
Oh, no. Oh,
it's a lovely overtake. Lovely overtake from Hassan.
Break too early. Break way too early. He actually cut the inside.
Champ having the lock up there, avoiding the 2 going into the penultimate corner.
Oh, Liam with the fastest lap.
Fastest lap on 17. Yeah.
Although Petrika is gonna change, but to Maciek hits.
Now this is for the last podium spot. There's no penalty, so there's no chickening sitting behind someone. It is on track. What's going to happen here?
Jericho is fighting. Jericho is very close. 3.3.
Marlberg's going for the overtake on Hassan. Doesn't get the move done. Now we're going to stick with Liam for a bit now, because this is for the penultimate podium position. Not penultimate, what about the final. Jericho taking a very
oh, Igor has lost DRS. Oh, it's very
he has. But I wouldn't expect him to lose 6/10 being on the better tyre. If he does, it'd be a hell of a miracle for Liam and Jericho, but Liam doesn't look to have the run. Jericho's really trying to break the slip. It's going to be into the penultimate corner. I don't think it's going to be here, but he does. He's got enough to challenge him into this corner, but it's going to be into the breaking of this one. He sent it. You've got to send it. He's forced him a little bit, and he's been forced back. Watinho's going to make the final. He's ahead.
What? What is that finish?
Right, I don't think Liam's going to keep that because he was off the track.
I feel like Liam and Jericho might be reporting each other. There is a big.
I think Watinho might have just taken the final spot there, because I think Liam might have been off track for his exit, which is illegal.
We also need to remember the timing glitches, because it was very hard for me to see who actually crossed the line.
I think it was Watinho.
I'm not sure who crossed up the line first.
I'm pretty sure Liam crossed the line off track. And I know his exit was off track. Not to his own fault, but he was off track.
That's how much time you lose by penalties. Nick finished P10.
Oh, wow.
What, P7 or P8
yeah.
On track.
That is tough. Driver there, Watinho. Yeah, he did well on those softs, I have to give it to him. There's the podium, Aldrig, the undoubtable winner of today. It was there from the get-go. Jericho was challenging him at the start, but unfortunately got the wrath of the ferret. But I am very interested into how that last podium spot is going to be dealt with. I don't think there's going to be any happiness about coming fourth or fifth there. Especially Jericho getting forced off and losing 2 positions because of it. I don't think that's going to go down too well. I'm not going to do interviews today because my throat is bloody hurting and I'm tired. I wasn't expecting to do this today. So we'll end it off there. Let's get the race directed quickly before we go. Quite a long, not actually quite a long one, surprisingly. But there's that. Let's have a look at the final top 10. We've got Aldrig, Igor, and Liam, controversially, rounding out the top 3. Not Igor and Aldrig, they got away pretty well. Even with the penalty for Igor, well done. Watinho, Jericho, Marburg, rounding out 4th to 6th. Libidal, well done on 7th, even with COVID on the 1 stop. And we've just missed out on looking at the rest from the timer. But that has been it for today's race. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll be racing in F1. Myself, I'll be racing on my new wheel, so I'll be a bit slow, but hopefully we can do alright. We've been on a good run. And look out for steward results, because I maybe think someone's going to get a change in position for this race from today. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more race streams and clips and highlights. Peace, guys.